Welcome, and thrice welcome to a nice, relaxed episode of Ride with Nick. This week, I'm riding an Indian Scout bobber, which, as you will see soon enough, is not actually a bobber, but we'll come to that later. This bike is so relaxed, I'm not even going to get up at this moment in time to tell you that this has a very, very accessible 649mm seat height, so that is ideal, very confidence inspiring for a bike of this weight and size for newer riders, anyone who's a little bit short in the leg. This has a lot of ground clearance and plenty of reach. It's got a 12.5 litre fuel tank. And the bike's overall weight is 255 kilograms, so it's a big heavy beast, but it carries it very well. You wouldn't feel that to push it around, to sit on it, moving through traffic. It's very accessible. I think the thing I like about it, sitting here, is its fit and finish. It's the sort of thing that you would take a cup of tea to. It's the sort of thing that you would head out and sit in your garage and just kind of chill out. At the front end, we've got these super cool Avon AV71 white walls, and these are mounted to a 16-inch cast rim. We've got some very conventional 41mm cartridge forks here, and although this is visually quite pleasing, the brakes are roundabout on this side. I think we've got a 298mm disc, and we've got a twin piston caliper. Not a lot for this weight of bike, but I'm guessing it's enough. As a motorcycle, this is very laid back, it's easy on the eye, it's got a look and a feel and a fit and a finish which could only ever be American. All of these controls have got like a lovely kind of textured, solid finish to them. The paintwork is lovely. There's not a lot there. The bike does have ABS, but other than that, it's really not a particularly sophisticated thing, and neither does it need to be. It's about the looks. We've got these, cracking. We've got this chopped rear end here, and it's coming to a very fat white wall tire again, which is a 180/70/16. It's this conventional Indian branded twin rear shocks. We've got one on each side. Short, there's not a lot of suspension travel there, so I'm guessing that this is going to be quite a solid ride. And then we've got a 298mm single disc, same size as the front. You can see the ABS sensor there, so the bike is fitted with ABS, and it's just this tiny little single piston caliper. Yeah, enough. Should be enough. It should be all enough. It's about relaxed cruising. So if you're relaxed cruising, you shouldn't have to chuck the anchors on anytime soon. So this bike is a very liquid-cooled bike. You can see the amount of frontage there on the radiator, and that's sitting in this. It's a solid cast aluminium spine frame, which carries all the way back, holding this particular beastie here. I've been saving the best for last. This is the liquid-cooled 1133 94 horsepower V-twin engine. I mean, this is an absolute classic. This unit is all about the smooth, creamy power, lots and lots of torque. 74 foot-pounds of torque will pull this entire 255 kilogram bike onto a top speed of 120 miles an hour. Lots of show, lovely being looked at, photographed, lots of go in this 1133 engine. Let's go somewhere that has equally as iconic a look as this particular bike has, somewhere industrial, somewhere solid, somewhere that's been there for all of time.
So Pete tasks me today with getting some iconic cinematic shots of this beautiful motorcycle in an equally beautiful setting. You may recognize it, not at this time of the year because it's very much a summer location. Today, I can't feel my face, it's nearly snowing, It's rained all the way down here. I've made a complete mess of this motorcycle. And what this teaches me is the reason why bears hibernate. It tells me why bears hibernate. You eat as much as you can, you wrap yourself in a big fur blanket, and you retire to your man cave to polish things like this until the spring comes, and you don't wake up till May. It makes so much sense. This little bike got off to a very difficult start this morning. Battery was completely flat, so there's a note to you for your winter bike putting away. Get yourself a battery charger. Get your bike on charge. It's a difficult day for a naked cruiser to shine. You may be able to see it, or you may definitely can't feel it, but it is so cold. The kind of cold, whoopla, it makes you stick your hands on the engine just to get a warm up. So I didn't like this a lot this morning. In fact, I didn't like my job very much this morning. It seemed like the wrong kind of a day to be doing motorcycle reviewing. But as you buzz along, just let it sink into you. There is so much to like about this bike. It's a slightly oversized rear tyre, but I think someone's added that, which doesn't help the handling. That said, it does actually handle incredibly well. For what it is, everything being relative. The controls are very nicely weighted. That cable clutch is just a delight. The throttle response is lovely, lovely, lovely. Very accurate, exactly what you're asking for. It translates into a linear experience. I don't know if you can hear me over the sound of these pipes. By God, they're offensive. Everywhere I've gone today, just felt like a bit of a menace. Ah! The hell. Down to a 30. The brakes perform very well. They're nothing to set the world on fire, but they do the job. Things I do like very much indeed, would be the engine. The engine is an absolute star. It will pull in virtually any gear you ask for. So you can change down, you can use the very slick gearbox. It just feels like a quality item. And you can bang it up and down the box, make the engine work a bit harder, which is rewarding. On a day like today, sometimes sticking in a higher gear, oh, we're in fourth, let's go up fifth, let's go up sixth, and still it will pull quite comfortably. It's because we've got a big slathering slather of torque. If I'm gibbering at all today, or my words don't make any sense, then there's a good reason for that. It's because I cannot feel anything that begins with an F. It is so cold. I cannot feel my fingers. I cannot feel my feet. I cannot feel my face. And I definitely cannot feel my testicles. I do hope they're still down there somewhere. This is just not the right kind of a day for a naked cruiser. It's a day to be tucked behind some fairing with your heated grips on. Not cutting a dash. Things I don't particularly like. Well, I don't like this riding position. I don't like the riding position at all. I know some people like this whole feet forward thing, but for me, it closes the hip joint. It just puts a lot of strain on your legs. It's quite sore in the hip joint there. Also kind of bunches up your knees. It just leaves you feeling a bit cramped because you've got to lean forward at the same time. It's a bit like squatting on the toilet, which, you know, not quite what I'm looking for from my relaxed 13 grand cruiser. Also the rear suspension, by God, it's fairly solid. When you're riding along on a road like this, where it's smooth, no problem at all, or in any kind of bumps or lumps, it's absolutely unforgiving. And if you're already uncomfortable, squatting there, then it really puts a batter up through your back. So, not great. Also not great, what is with these bar end mirrors? Why do people fit crap bar end mirrors? You've got a lovely thing that's bolted together well. You've got something that's been made by the manufacturer the best way it can. And then you go on to Wish and buy yourself a set of £9.99 bar end mirrors. I mean, from this point forwards, you won't be able to see anything that's going on behind you. Oh, wish is granted. Maybe Wish must have heard me. Other cheap imported websites are available. Oh man, what a day. It's like winter has come all at once. This is rain that's verging on snow. Scottish motorcycling. It is absolutely not for the faint-hearted. So I'm not a huge fan of this foot forward control thing. But there is some redeeming features. Allow me to show you one. Visor down, it's gonna get wet. Oh, slidey as a dog. And off we go. That lovely, lovely engine. The exhausts are just a little bit too loud. But if you're in a hooligan who's looking for a bit of action, then, well, this is the bike to find it on. I'm an animal, Mom. Well, it's impossible to dig into the very best bits of this motorcycle, or to tell you where it excels, because I don't know. You can't find the limits of something in weather like this. You've just got to get it. You just got to get on with it. Yeah.
Road tests absolutely aim to be objective, but of course they're just not, especially when it comes to motorcycles. They are deeply subjective because everything relates to its surroundings. This bike is a bridge between the old and the new. It's bang up to date, it's Euro 4, it's ABS, everything works very well, and it's a beautiful looking thing, but it's the wrong bike on the wrong day in the wrong place, and I'm not sure it's very easy to shine. It's been a long time since I used an engine to warm up my hands. By God, I could do with some heated grips. So maybe revisit it in the summertime. Very likable. I'm just not loving it today.
So if you liked seeing me freeze my nuts off, then like,
Subscribe to the channel, and of course head over and view the warm in-studio weekly episode of Talk Time.